Hi guys, Jason Smith here, welcome to AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Wilson Staff Model CB Iron. So if you're not a great fan of blades because they're too small and they're too hard to hit, well then you're going for the CB, because if you want a player's iron but can't quite go to the blade, this is what the CB is for. And I can see people blending these, especially with the blade at the lower end and at the longer irons, definitely going into the CB because they are very much so traditionally lofted. They're exactly the same lofted as the blade. They've got technology in the CB exactly the same as in the blade. So you've got the 8620 steel, one of the softest steels that manufacturers can make a golf club out of, so it will feel very, very nice, feel, sound, all that kind of interchangeable. They've got the milled face for precision when it comes to spin, although that's a little bit subjective. They've got that fluid feel hosel where you've got that urethane polymer plastic insert where they've basically milled stuff out of there so they can take that weight they've taken from the hosel and pop it onto different parts of the head, namely the toe, and that leads me to the precision toe weighting. And that's Wilson's idea of trying to protect against eliminating the left miss. They're saying players don't like hitting the left miss, and so by moving the mass that they've took out of the hosel and onto the toe, quick science lesson, 2-second science lesson. As soon as you make the center of gravity of a head further away from the shaft axis center of gravity, you do make the head more stable, less likely to rotate. But guys, bear in mind, I am the biggest denominator of what happens to this golf club. So manufacturers can do a certain amount, but I still am in control. This one has got a semi-decent sole thickness compared to the blade. Obviously this goes alongside the blade. It's not massive by no stretch of imagination, but it is slightly thicker than the blade. Top line thickness again is about a quarter or so on top of what the blade is. And so this is still a medium to thin where the blade is thin, and blade lengths, it's not very big, I'll give it that way, but it's nowhere near scary. It just looks a lovely little package. And again, we've got the badge. Well, the badge has changed for this year. Back we've gone WS, Wilson Staff. Within that shield, the WS has gone, and we have just got the shield. I've got this on a weird green. We're at Potters Park Golf Club, hole 13. It's a par 3 of 166 yards. And it's just ridiculous because the pin's right at the front. It's got a massive chasm beforehand, and this is right on the limit of my normal 34-degree lofted 7-iron. So in reality, what I would do on this one, I'd be playing a 6-iron and fading it in slightly to try and take a little bit of distance off, because the miss on this one is definitely long. Right, let's go give it a hit down by the golf ball. Looks very, very nice. Hardly any offset whatsoever. That's weak to start with. That's going to be interesting. That's got to get there. Oh, okay, that's fine. Just. Path is good. Face is somewhat open, shall we say. 4.2 open. Wow. That's done well just to miss 8.6 yards right. I mean, it's still a decent shot. 8.6 yards right is around about sort of 25, 26 feet or so. 37 yards in the air, 51 degrees of scent angle. Again, you take that all day long. Just a good shot. The feeling of it, okay, with an open face, but it's exactly the same as a blade. And it will be. It's 8620 still. I'm not surprised that it feels exactly the same as a blade. Lovely and soft. Let's see if we can do a better job of the face this time. Now, as long as I don't curve too much left and go too far, that might be close to the pin, because it does gather. We might be here a while. Go on, gather to the hole. Oh, nearly. All right, stop now. Whoa, whoa ball. Oh, come on. Tricky green. Path is slightly across, face is slightly closed, that's why I wanted to go a little bit left, and slightly high on the face, but 3 mils fine, and 4 mil toe. But 36 yards in the air, 49.3 degrees of scent angle. It's stopping on any green, and then you just have to let the green do its thing. But it's just lovely. It really is nice. I mean, there's nothing, I can't complain in any way with these new irons from Wilson. I really can't. There's nothing, apart from getting them bent to my specifications when it comes to lie, that's it. But that's got nothing to do with the golf clubs whatsoever. They just feel gorgeous to hit. They look really, really nice. Everything, it frames up at the golf ball just really, really well. There's nothing there that I could complain. It's just good, it really is. And any kind of mistake that happens is solely on my shoulders. I don't know. These could easily go in the bag. Watch the old green. Is it going to stop or is it going to carry on? No, it's going to stay there. 90 miles an hour, club path 0, face a fraction open, 3mm low, 0mm toe, bang on. 38 yards in the air, 50 degrees of center angle. Again, it's just good. It really, really is. What can you say? These things are no different to the blades. They just feel lovely, they look lovely, they work really well, subject to what you're going to do, but absolutely, Wilson, you've made a really good set of irons here. Last one to finish before we go do all the forgiveness testing. I don't think it's going to go in. It's not going to have, it's going to go sideways too much and not enough back. But it's just good. We have to wait for the green now. Bear with. Club path slightly across, face is 0 basically, and slightly heely that time, 6mm heel, 4mm low. But efficiency's still good. It's going 38 yards in the air and 50 degrees of center angle. It's 6 foot off the pin. It's just, yeah. So you can blend these if you want to. You could blend them with the blades, go sort of, I don't know, scoring irons. And if that's what I'd probably do if I was going to go for a blended set. Honestly, I'd still go a full bladed set from 5 to pitching wedge, but I would go 7 to pitching wedge in the blade and then put the 5 and 6 iron for the harder to hit ones in the CB. Right, let's go get the CB here. Let's take this off of here, go on to the old Foresight range. Let's whack it a load of times all around the face, some weird and wonderful points. Let's go see how it works from the middle. Yes, about 1.32. I reckon we'll get 1.33 efficiency out of this, and then let's capture. What happens? What dropbacks do we get in efficiency, ball speed, peak height, and all that lot when you don't quite hit the middle? Let's go see how the Wilson 2024 CB Staff Iron gets on when you hit it all around the face and also out the middle. But I've also captured some different swing speed information as well, because we all don't swing a 7 iron at 90 miles an hour. So I've captured some information at 80 miles an hour and also at 70 miles an hour to see what happens to the CB iron as soon as you start taking speed away. Let's go have a look at the averages first for the CB iron and see how well it does. Average ball speed 119.8 miles an hour, launching at 20.6 degrees, spinning at 6,200, which is nice and healthy. It's going at 38 yards in the air and 50 degrees ascent angle, which is again very healthy. At carry of 168, swinging at 90.4 miles an hour average, efficiency is 1.32, attack angle 3.6 degrees, that's how much down I'm coming down onto the golf ball with my golf club. Club path is slightly across and face is slightly baby open, that was my little baby fades, and then lie 3.1 degrees. Not exactly what you call the greatest, but then again, these are not fit for me, these are media samples, and again, I'd like to get them bent upright, but there you go. Loft is 28.2 degrees and face impact is 3mm toe, 3mm low on average, and I have my standard deviation for all to see. Standard deviation is a measure of my variance, and really for comparing one golf club, we're not really worried about it. For comparing two golf clubs, we do have to, because obviously we've got to compare apples for apples. If not, you're not comparing anything at all. So let's go see how well it works right out the middle before we look at the forgiveness and then also the multiple swing speeds. I've got one here, 0mm high, 1mm toe, so within 1mm, right out the screws. We've got a club path slightly across to a face baby open 1.2 degrees. It's going 38 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle, very, very good. And it is 1.33 efficiency. Possibly you may get a 1.34 on this, but every single duck has got to be in line. Either that, or you artificially deal off something and it kind of cheating-ish, but yeah. Let's go see how it works out the heel. 13mm heel, 2mm low, so 15mm gross. And we have got an efficiency of 1.30. Its club path is basically 0 and face is slightly open, so we do have to be aware of that. Going 36 yards in the air and 49.3 degrees descent angle, working extremely well from a heel shot. And it's 1.30 efficiency with an open face of 2.4 degrees. So if you take that away, you might get a 1.31. From a 15mm gross off the heel, 1.3 potentially 1 on a 1.33 potentially, or even 1.34. We are talking a very small drop from a considerably heely shot. The CB does very, very well off heel strikes. Low heel now, 9mm low, 9mm heel. Generally speaking, the most horrid part to hit a golf club from completely it's just not good whatsoever. Face and path is very 0-0, and it's going 32 yards in the air and 47.3 degrees descent angle, still stopping on any green, and efficiency is 1.29. So that's only dropping 0.04 from absolutely, well, I would say maxed out, but within reason maxed out. And that's from there, and that on a golf club is not a very nice place to hit. Now it is 9mm and 9mm, so it's a single digit miss, but it is 18mm gross off the middle, and it's done very, very well. It has done. For a CB iron, yes, a game improvement iron will do slightly better, but it's still doing very, very well. One here just low on the face, 13mm low, 0mm toe, 1.30 efficiency, face and path are very 0-0, and the only thing I would say when it comes to the dynamics of the peak height of 35 yards in the air and its descent angle at 48.4, which is very, very good. I am artificially adding a little bit of loft and not hitting so much down. So whenever you do that, that will affect the launch characteristics. It will go up slightly higher. However, that will also take away efficiency a little bit. So when I'm adding loft, I will be reducing efficiency. So if you were to try and make it in line with the rest of them and take some loft off, yes, it would affect peak height and descent angle by a bit, not too much, but it will also make efficiency better. So actually, even 13mm low, losing 0.03 is mighty, mighty good. Just a toe shot now, 15mm toe. It's too far now to be a normal toe shot. This is a distinct miss, especially for a CB iron, and you can feel this. All the CB and the blade, they give you plenty of feedback to tell you that you should do a better job. 1.31 efficiency. Now the face is baby closed, 1 degree. It's going 37 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle, and it's going 9 yards offline to the left. Why? Because I swung 1.9 degrees across and my face was slightly closed. I told it to go left. But 1.31 has done brilliantly well from a 15mm toe. I will say this, if you're going to be whacking this all over the face, like properly big, not 15mm, I'm talking 20mm and stuff like that, the first point I would say, get a lesson, always. Getting the lesson side of things, work on your delivery, work on your strike will always be the best way to play golf. However, if you're looking for a golf club that's going to be very, very helpful off of 20mm plus poor strikes, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at the CB, but again, I think everyone knows that anyway. So I'll catch you with some information now. Different swing speeds, all at 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, and I'm going to put the information, if I can, all up in one go so you can see all the traces, etc. See the differences and what happens when you start taking speed away. So the 70 miles an hour, you can see by the carry, 130, 150 and 168. So within rounding and stuff, you're looking at about a 19-yard or so gap between each one, which is absolutely acceptable for a 10 mile an hour difference. Now, I will say this, and I've got to be open and honest as I always am. I am not a robot. I'm a human being, and I try as my best as I can do to deliver the golf clubs as neutrally as I possibly can do to get this information. However, I will be honest about this one. You can see the launch angle on the 70 miles an hour. It's 22 degrees, where the rest of them is either 20 or 21 degrees. Now, I have artificially added more launch, more loft with the 70 miles an hour. And of course, what happens is that means it will go 23 yards in the air and it's descending at 42 degrees, which is really very, very good, especially at 70 miles an hour. Artificially, if you start taking that back and you start delivering a little bit less loft and you launch it the same as the rest, then that would peak height not quite so high and it would descend not quite so steep. It would probably go 20, 21 yards in the air for peak height. And then also descending about 40 degrees or so, which is my cutoff period to say, right, that's enough before we need to think about a different idea. But then carry would then go up fractionally as well, maybe 2 or 3 yards, but not quite a lot. But you can see, it's a small difference, but I will be honest when I'm putting the information up on there, because I'm not a robot. But it's doing really well. You can see by adding speed, the difference straight away. You go to 80 miles an hour and carry goes to 150, peak height goes up to 28, and descent angle goes straight away to 45 degrees. And then straight away, just look, if you add another 10 miles an hour, the gain just gets even more. It's like an exponential gain. Carry 168, which is fine, but peak height goes to 38 yards in the air and descent angles at 50, and it's just, speed is the biggest win you can have when it comes to being able to control the golf ball. Now, yes, there's a classic thing, there's no point having speed if you can't control it, that's true. But I would much rather teach someone with speed and then to control it than I would to try and get them to get speed, because it's difficult to work on speed. You can do, absolutely, you can work on your speed to get a much more favourable result. But it's just one of those things you can see people that have raw speed have an unfair advantage to everybody else that unfortunately doesn't. So my conclusions when it comes to the Wilson 2024 CB Staff Iron is, when it comes to the looks, it's got chrome on it. I like the chrome. It's a CB iron, so it's going to have a look like a cavity back design and stuff, and it doesn't look that much different to its predecessor as such. It works really, really well. The feel on it just feels exactly the same as a blade. By changing, doing all the cavity back and making it slightly bigger, etc., they haven't spoiled the feel in any way whatsoever. It feels exactly the same as a blade. That's why it would work brilliantly from a blending point of view. So looks and feel are, yeah, just top notch for their class of iron. When it comes to performance, subject to what you do, it does every single thing that you ask it to do. These are traditionally lofted irons, remember, so we are not talking these are cranked into the 32s or 30 degree for a 7 iron, so the distances are respectable for the distance or for the loft that they are. When it comes to forgiveness, actually, do you know what, from a CB, is it more forgiving than the blade? I would say so, yes. Is it massively more forgiving than the blade? I would say no, it's a marginal difference, but then when you're blending, you're looking for marginal differences. You're not looking to go potentially from a blade to a hybrid in one thing, and you can do, but for getting that continuity all the way through, having that slight change, especially say for me, I'd have these in the 5 and the 6 iron, and then have the 7 in the pitching wedge in blade. Something that I would really get on the list for you to test. The CB, obviously being from Wilson, the options when it comes to custom fitting are there. Are they going to be as multiple in the options as a premium brand? Possibly not. But you're going to have the benefit of the fact that you are going to have enough options that you're going to find a option for you, and also it's priced at a very competitive price point rather than going for full-on premium. We are talking about premium price as well. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, thumbs up. Go on YouTube, Slightly Soda Way. Down there is a subscribe button. It's great for the channel if you could subscribe, so thank you. And next to that is a bell icon. That's a notification bell, and that will let you know next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well, and we'll see you again soon.